It's a rare case to find a playfield for this game in great condition. This one is actually one of the better ones that I have seen, but with all the efforts I have put into this cabinet, I will not be doing a simple shop and polish on this playfield. I will be making it look brand new. But this comes at a price. Money? Well, of course, but more than that. In order for this to happen, we must first destroy the original art, eradicating it from existence. The payoff is well worth it, in my opinion. Hardtops, a revolutionary product available on select games, this game being their newest addition. In this video, I will be showing you how to install it for Swords of Fury without clear coating. It is way too hot out in the garage, and I don't have a TV in the dining room where I have been working on things lately, so I know this is going to take me a while. So I brought it in here into my game room so I can watch some Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever to bide my time as I am disassembling this mess. I will update throughout the teardown for what I find. Alright, so I've got the slingshot area all disassembled along with the outlane on left and right. I'm probably going to need new T-nuts throughout this machine. It seemed like every single one I tried to unscrew was coming loose at the bottom, and it was just a big mess when trying to remove them. The screws are like really Loctited into the T-nuts, and the T-nuts are sometimes even just not able to grip inside the wood. They've just kind of just... So basically, I'm just like clipping them off. I'm just going to buy all new ones. I'm not going to be working around trying to get a heat gun out, trying to loosen them all up. I'm like, screw it. I'm just getting all new ones. If they want to stick out, then whatever. Like this one, I ended up having to just snap off because it was like, it was nowhere near able to come out. And it's being blocked by the flipper mech down below. So I'm just like, screw it. I'll pull it out whenever I get to the flipper mechs when I turn the playfield over. I'm already liking where this is going. Moving along here. That's where we're at now. Alright, so I'm working my way over here. I've got the wire forms removed, and then I discovered this. Are you kidding me? One, I don't even recall seeing this in my previous videos or observations of this playfield. Oh, there's a damn screw that's, I can only assume, was used to hold this metal flange right here in place because of, yep. So, looks like I'm just going to end up getting a new ramp for this one. Great. Just wanted to give everybody a look at what this looks like without that top portion ramp on there and all the nice dirt and grunge it's all behind in here. Yummy. Alright, all of the ramp has been removed. Alright, moving on to the upper playfield portion. Alright, I just removed the upper playfield, and by all means, that was a task. Now, there may be added difficulty because of the fact of the age of the hardware involved, like the screws not wanting to unscrew out of certain areas, but just finding everything that made it mount under and above the playfield and then removing it was definitely a task. That was interesting. I think that is actually probably going to be the hardest part of the whole disassembly. I think everything else from here should be pretty easy. It was not easy getting the flipper removed from the actual mech that, now that I look at it, I didn't need to do. Wait, yes I did. Whew, I was gonna say, what? I'm pretty sure I had to. Yeah, the flipper fed all the way through the bottom of this playfield, and man, the assembly attached to the rod of that flipper was on there very, very tight. I mean, whenever you gotta bust out a hammer when working on a pinball machine, you know things are getting real. Alright, before I begin this process of tearing this thing apart, I wanted to make sure that everyone had a good view of what this playfield looks like beforehand. So let's just kind of go over it right now, one half at a time. That way everybody gets a good look at what this playfield's condition is before the word blasphemy starts getting thrown around. Now, is this playfield salvageable without sanding? Yes. It could technically be saved to where if I wanted to get it all cleaned up and then retouch all the little bitty stuff and then lock it in, then I guess, yeah, I could. But whenever I've got an option that gives me a pristine art, shiny, lovely look like it's brand new, that doesn't require much effort, then yeah, I'm probably gonna take that. Alright, so let's clean it off just to get another good eye on what it looks like. And this is with me going over the playfield with naphtha, and this was no scrubbing, no dry eraser or magic eraser, or anything like that. This is what the playfield looks like with that top layer of dirt and dust removed from it. You can see there's lots of little spots, speckled, peppered, it's another phrase to use, throughout the artwork that is missing. All kinds of ball swirls and everything throughout here. Then you have a number of streaking also throughout here, the typical wear spot for this game, and then all the wear across these as well. Big wear spot right there. Another wear area right there. And then you have some more right here, all throughout here. And this is just the lower playfield. The upper playfield has a lot of wear too. And when we get to that, I'll show you that. But no, I'm not going to attempt to rescue this playfield. I'm going to sand this all off. And now we begin the heartbreaking process of sanding all this artwork that is, what, 33 years old? Am I getting that number right? Yeah, around that time? Mm-hmm. Something like that. How old am I? 87? Something. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm right. All right. Anyways, this is the part that I recommend that you definitely don't have anything sticking up out of the playfield. You want a clean table here. No socket sticking out to mess up your sanding pad. Nothing from the flipper area right here that's going to stick up, and it needs to be just wood is all you're going to be hitting going across this. Then once you have that, you can begin the sanding process. I got two different kinds. I got 150 and I've got 220. I'm going to start out with 150, and if I feel like that's too harsh, then I'm going to go to 220. If the 150 is going good, then I'll do 150 throughout, and then I'll go back over it with the 220 just to smooth it out more. But before that, I'm going to show you on removing this Mylar section right here, and we're going to see if we can lift that up without causing any artwork to damage. We got two pieces of Mylar here. I don't think I have Mylar anywhere else on this playfield. Don't think so. The one that I've got, the whole center of it is just covered with Mylar. So let's remove these two right here. Man, that actually came out really good. Look at the difference on that, guys. That's after removing the Mylar that was right here. Still gonna be a little tacky because of the adhesive still there, but that just shows you right there the difference of the protection right there when it comes to Mylar and non-Mylar. Wow, the colors are still there, and none of the art lifted up with it either. Wow, it's crazy. All right, let's do the other one, see what happens. And this side came up just as good. No paint lifted. Wow. This gives me hope that my machine might be salvageable. Of course, none of this is over insert, so I can't really judge entirely, but that's just impressive that none of the art lifted up with it. Either I'm really good at taking off Mylar, or I just got lucky. Plus a number of other conditions, but you could definitely tell the difference in what was covered with Mylar though. Wow. Alright, I've been going at it, I'd say for at least 10 minutes. That first pad's already gone of the 150, and this is how far I've got with that. I mean, there's no turning back now, but that just gives you an idea that 150 should be plenty. If not, hell, I wish I would have gone with like maybe even a better grit than 150, but at this rate I'll be able to take off little by little just to make sure I don't go too deep. It's just going to be a little bit more time consuming. Yep. There's the update on that. On to the next pad. Let's recap. I went through about 4 of those 150 grit pads, made sure that all of my inserts are completely sanded off, that there's no longer any arts or numbers or anything like that on there. That's the most important feature. I say feature. That is the most important factor when you're sanding this. The point of sanding in general is to make sure that your inserts are completely sanded off. I mean, according to, you know, the people that make these, outside edge, you don't have to do all of the playfield sanded like this. You don't have to. Their only recommendation is to sand all of the artwork and everything, the decals, off of the inserts. That's the only thing that you really have to be concerned about. So, 4 pads of 150 and then 1 pad of 220. And it's nice and smooth. Then I took the air gun and dusted everything off with the residual. So now we've got a really nice, clean playfield right now. All right, that is all for right now. And we're back at it again. I'm going to attempt something, and that is we are going to attempt to get these polished up instead of using a clear coating method. I've shown a clear coating method that we've done on black knot before when doing a hardtop, but not everyone is savvy and able to do clear coating. But hopefully they can maybe do this method that I'm going to try, and we shall see how it looks. And if I don't like it, then I'm going to go right back to clear coating. But what I'm going to be doing is utilizing sanding paper as it goes up the grit to higher grits. I'm going to start out, because closest we've sanded so far is a 220. So now I'm going to do this middle circle right here to get the better visual effect on how well it's going to look. We've already done 220, obviously. So I'm going to up it to 500, just sand this down real good. And then I'm going to go up to 1,000 and then 1,200. And we're going to see how well that looks. And if I need to go up to a higher grit, then we'll see. But let's do this one right here first. Alright. So what I've done here is made my way from 500 all the way up to 1,200 using the sander right here. And instead of just going over one insert, I've actually just done the whole playfield, because it's not going to hurt this playfield to be even smoother. Oh man, that is damn smooth. So that is really good. Oh yeah, that is butter. That is nice and smooth. So far I'm actually recommending this method. So far. I've done an air dusting off to get all the sawdust, but all the the sanding residual blown out, and this is nice and smooth. I am seeing a pretty good reflection on this. Now granted, it's not going to be as crystal clear as it would be if it was to get polished. So now what I'm going to do is get it a little more cleaned up, and then we're going to try something else. What I've done now is gone over all the inserts by hand using a 2000 grit sandpaper to get out any possible marks from the sander that I use, like swirl marks or anything like that. So at least it's got even across it. I'm gonna probably go get some more. Actually, I only had one sheet. But what I've done also is made one of these. I've used Novice 2, and one of these is just cleaned up after sanding. I'm not sure if you can tell which one has been polished and which one hasn't. Probably the one that's got the most reflections to it, so that tells you right there that Novice 2 polishing these things out will make a difference and give you a pretty close damn good sheen to after clear coating. So I'm going to continue doing that. Alright, after going over all the inserts with some Novice 2, and you can see that there is a sheen to them. They are reflecting light through it. Granted, it's not as pretty as clear coat would be, but I think it's going to be very negligible when it comes to after you put the hard top on here, and then you have the artwork that goes over these inserts. Going to be very negligible. I don't believe that it's going to be such a drastic difference that I would regret not clear coating it. Alright, I brought this sucker inside, and this thing is so damn smooth, guys. My brother thought I already clear coated it because it was so smooth. It is not, but I think we are definitely well within range for being able to start getting this hard top ready to be put on here. Now, the next step that I'm going to be doing is not mandatory, but it is nice insurance, just in case something goes wrong during the laying down process and something doesn't line up very well. So what I'm going to be doing is taking my paints and painting around the perimeter of all of these inserts, just to make sure, in case it gets laid down incorrectly, that I'm not going to have bare wood showing you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this is me just setting the hardtop on here as of right now. And as you can see, everything looks pretty damn good and lined up. But if you don't have things lined up just right, we're talking like it doesn't take very much. Bam, look. That's what I'm talking about. Everything else looks to be just fine. And then you'll have this one insert, and it shows right there that you need to make an adjustment. Just move it over a little bit. So painting around the inserts, if that was still like that, at least you wouldn't have bare wood showing. It would be black and just be less, obvious that it wasn't on correct. So it's just an insurance method. You can do what you please, but I'm all about a little extra insurance, especially once this thing goes down, it's down. All right, let's get painting. The paint I'm going to be using is Createx Airbrush Coloring. This is what I use for my airbrushing as well. Opaque black. I'll just put a few little pile in there, then I'll dab it, and then I'll just be going around the perimeter. It's a very little tedious task, but, like I said, it's insurance. Here we go. Alright, so now you can see we've got the black paint around all of the inserts. And after you get it all painted around the inserts, take a heat gun or even a hair dryer and just make sure you go over all the paint. It should dry pretty quickly if you use the same paint that I did. And then guys, we can start getting prepped up for the hardtop to go down.
Once I believe everything is lined up, I will C-clamp the playfield and hardtop together, then grab a flashlight and verify the alignment from underneath. This next portion I highly recommend you have 2 people for.
This is how it's going to work. I'm going to lift this up. And this has to be pulled down, but first I'm going to use a tack cloth to wipe off any area that it can possibly get to right now. We're only going to lay down about the bottom 25 to 30% of this. And once that goes down flat, the clamps can come off and everything else should just lay down with no problem. Because once that 25% goes down, then that's tacked down and nothing else is going to move. But the tack cloth is used to make sure that
there's nothing else.
Yeah, no dirt and bugs and
anything.
Bullshit like that. So get this wiped down. Try not to lose it up too much.
Okay.
Don't want to put any pressure on those clamps back there and cause this thing to move over. Let's lay it down real quick. Make sure we have moved it already. Alright. We got it?
Yep.
Actually, hold on, calm down a little bit.
Alright. Now we gotta get the other side fully finished.
Got my tack cloth, that's the most important thing. The interesting part is going to be able to get this part right here that's really close to everything. Oh, this is what we're at. Down that way. Alright, now that this thing is officially down, let's go over things that are definitely going to have to be adjusted when it comes to what the hardtop is cut and what the playfield actually is. All the inserts are lined up, but as you can see, this is something that you got to deal with when it comes to hardtops. Not every time are things going to line up exactly perfect. So all my slots are good, all my light posts are good. Majority of the holes are pretty good, but you're going to have some that are going to be a little bit off. Same thing goes down here. Some look to be pretty good. All my slots are good, but some of them are going to be off when it comes to the holes that are drilled in over here. These are like nowhere near. So what I'm going to have to do is go through here with my drill / Dremel and make sure all the holes are lined up to where it should be pretty easy to just assemble. Fun.
We are at the finish line, guys. The same method is done with the upper playfield, only on a smaller scale, and it can be done solo. I can't stress enough how much I love this product. It gives the people the ability to resurrect trash playfields to their original aesthetics without requiring too much skill. Just keep in mind that you do not drill new holes in the playfield. You drill new holes into the hardtop. There is no guarantee that the geometry would be the same by drilling new holes into the playfield. The only guarantee is that if installed correctly, your game will look brand new and have faster gameplay with a durable, easy cleanable hardtop. Thanks for watching, everyone, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so that way you can be notified of whenever we upload new content for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, guys, peace out.
Iron Man!